What's up, everybody? We just want to give you guys, we want to talk about our top five rankings right now of the NFL currently. And I'm going to jump right in. My top five, I'm going Kansas City, number one. You got to just, it's Pat Mahomes and
I
Travis
respect.
Kelsey. You can't, it's hard to stop them. It's hard.
Trey, you
And
copying my notes right now? Copy
maybe.
my notation.
No, it's not because you already told me that you don't even got my boys in there. So you no. But
My number one
then
too.
then number two, I'm gonna roll with the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm gonna put them at number two. You got to respect their record. They're the NFC East is one of the top in the league right now. So if they're holding that number one spot, you got to respect them. So I got them at number two, and then these next three, you can kind of interchange them, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna put my boys at number three. I just like the way that we're playing. Ever since Dak has been back, uh, we are moving in the right direction. Even in the game yesterday, he threw two interceptions, but the second half he turned it around, and our whole team turned it around because it wasn't just that he was playing bad in the beginning; the whole team was playing bad, and we turned it around. So I got us in the right, moving in the right direction, and then I'll put the Buffalo Bills with the Vaughn injury. I think that it's going to impact them, and I had high hopes for Buffalo beginning of the season. Just like everybody else, I picked them in the Super Bowl. But honestly, the way that they've been looking lately, they've just been like squeaking out with W's. That defense isn't looking as dominant as everybody thought it was going to be due to injuries. So I got them at number four. And then creeping up into that number five is San Fran. They made a power move with adding Christian McCaffrey. They're playing great ball right now. They got a really good defense. Their left tackle is back. They're starting to look like a solid team, so you can't sleep on them. They knocked us out last year. So that's my top five, and I think it's a pretty solid one. I don't know
Mine's
what
a
you
little
guys got.
different, but pretty solid.
Nah. I definitely that is I'm not gonna lie. That's like really kind of close to the list that I have. Like really close to the list that I have. But
Okay.
that is a solid list. I just got a different reasons why a certain stuff. But
Okay.
I guess I'll do my top 5
Mhm.
first. I got Kansas City there because I was joking, like, really, what? But Pat Mahomes, Kelsey, and they could put me out there; they'll be fine. It doesn't even really matter. Pat Mahomes throw it to anybody.
That's true.
Number two, I have Philly also. I do have Philly there. Just the record alone, they only got that one loss.
Mm-hmm.
They barely won this last game that they played, but and then people might last. I am sorry. I apologize, but be more Baltimore. I got them in third place.
they look good.
Starting
Man.
to
They
get
look
back.
good.
They started
They-
to get back their
They
players
slowly
on
creeping up.
defense.
They slowly
They look
creeping
good.
up.
They
They
look
start
good.
to get
They would be my number
Exactly.
6. Yeah, they creeping up.
For number 4. I do have the Bills there at number 4 because I do have the Bills there at number 4 just because Josh Allen. They have what he's probably top 4 QB. It's hard to not have a top 4 QB in the top 4 of the whole, especially when the team is he got him on their back, literally he's carrying them. And number 5, unfortunately, it hurts my burning my soul. It irks my soul. It's just if we had won yesterday, we would have been in spot 5, but we did not win. So I have unfortunately I don't even want to say their name.
We'll say it for you, the Dallas Cowboys.
I got those jokers.
Boy, get a lump in his throat when he
Right.
starts to say Dallas.
Well, I almost had an asthma attack. Goodness.
I got them there at number 5 because, like you said, in the beginning when they had Dak just throwing the ball, and they stopped running for some odd reason,
Right.
the game looked like it was about to get out of hand real quick.
Yeah.
But when they
Yeah.
got back to that run game, and yes, the Giants had a ton of injuries. I had them losing anyway. We put up a good fight, but we could have, and they were just dropping like flies yesterday too. So
Yeah.
there's not much. But right outside of there, I have the Giants. I have the Giants at 6. I know we ain't doing top 6, but I have them right there.
Okay.
That's my top 5. Get all out.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Baltimore going in there. Baltimore, I I got Baltimore at 6, kind of creeping up into the top 5 because that's literally what they've been doing. Like they're just creeping up. Everybody
Yeah.
thought they was out. They're going on a nice little run. So you could easily swap them out. In my list, you could even swap them with San Fran. That's not a bad pick. So
Yeah, and
not,
I
not
will
bad.
say this before Pedro go. I definitely agree with you on the Baltimore, like as the fringe. I wouldn't put them in my top 5 only because after what I seen in Carolina, I'm like, is they really what we think they are? Now, even though they do have like the easiest schedule left for the season in the AFC North, I'm like, there's some teams that I think that can really compete and maybe squeeze out a win versus them, 1 or 2 wins. I mean, it's any given Sunday. So that's the only reason why I myself probably have them fringe, but not like a top 5 team. Malik, you go ahead and rock out, Pedro.
So obviously, I think we all have the same consensus with KC being number 1 just because of the Kelsey Mahomes. And then on top of that, we got Pacheco actually starting to show.
Picked him up in fantasy, boy.
Yeah, he's their rookie this year too, right? I believe.
6th round at that.
Rookie.
Yeah, killing it.
I got him in sleeper.
Dude, yeah. So I think that's we've all said what we said about KC. Number 2 I have is San Fran actually. Just that high powered offense that they have, and then on the other side you got Bosa and so many dominant defensive players that they have, Witten and all those guys that just killing it. So I think they're I want to with San Fran and KC, you can kind of flip flop them, and the only reason why I say that is I feel like San Fran is a more of a complete team than KC. The reason why I gave KC the edge is because obviously Mahomes is so much more better than Jimmy. You know what I mean? And with winning itself, it hides a lot of faults. We'll say it. I guarantee you, none of us probably would have KC if they weren't 8-2 right now. So high. But that's so I got KC, then San Fran. Number 3, got to have my Buffalo Bills. As of right now, with just the record, they are another very complete team. Obviously, with injuries and everything that have been going on, we have yet to see what's going on with the Von Miller situation. But I do believe we have next Thursday we face the Pats, and maybe next week we'll have a different order for the Buffalo Bills. But it's another divisional game, and that should put us very high up there. My 4th, I have the Eagles. The schedule is made. You can only play who you play. They're 9-1. Hurts is balling out. He's having that MVP-esque season, which that's their leading guy right now. Also with AJ Brown, he's putting on a clinic, and I don't even think it's for the Eagles. He's doing it for Tennessee. Just show him like, oh, this is what you want to do? You want to let me go? That 5th pick is the Vikings, but the Cowboys, but been and close with Cowboys and the Cowboys and the Giants and Washington. I think You cannot tell me wholeheartedly what that order is going to be by week 18.
Yeah.
So that's my top 6. I guess we did.
All right. Nah. I like your list because I mean, like you said, there is a consensus when it comes to a lot, just because the way the records and the teams just look. So I myself, I'm along the same lines, but my teams, I don't actually have them in any particular order, just because I feel like each one of these teams are very beatable, playing either against each other or playing a top tier caliber type team. So I don't necessarily have an actual order. I just have 5 teams that I would consider whole complete teams that can compete on offense and defense, and actually have like good coaching to go along with the offense and defense. And then, just factor in things like penalties, quarterback grades on PFF and stuff like that. So one of my teams in my top 5 is the Miami Dolphins. I am a huge fan of how they run their offense. Tua is the most accurate quarterback in the league right now. So Tyreek Hill was not lying. Like, that's one thing that everybody thought he was kind of like throwing shots at Mahomes. As of
Very
right
diplomatic.
now, Tua has the highest completion percentage in the NFL, right?
Even over old boy from what's the dude from Seahawks?
Yes, even over
Gino?
Yes.
Oh,
As of right now, as of right now, Tua is that guy that Mahomes. I mean, not Mahomes. Tua is that guy that Hill was saying, and Tua's verifying it, right? And not even just Tua. I like Mike McDaniels as a rookie head coach. He don't look like a rookie head coach.
No.
He looks like somebody that has been doing it, and he looks like he's focused on playoffs and getting a championship down to Miami.
Except for how he handled that concussion, but that's all.
Yeah. But honestly, I think that was more front office more than Mike McDaniels, because as eccentric as he is, I don't think he's an idiot. So I think that was more front office than Mike McDaniels. Yeah.
It looked bad. Whoever.
Listen,
head coach, front office, it looked bad.
Yeah, it looked horrible. Everybody gets the blame, but I think it was more front office than because I mean, not for nothing. They barely like Tua over there with the front office anyway. Like,
that's for sure.
Like, they barely
if you look at this man is not right. He's in PFF. He's ranked number 1.
Yeah, come on now.
Over Patrick Mahomes too.
Yeah.
So I mean, fantasy they kill him.
Oh yeah. He doing his thing on Ramon bench.
I've been trying to trade him for the longest. Nobody don't want him.
Look, you want too much. That's the problem. You want too much. You want too much. It ain't that nobody don't want him. You want too much. All right. So the next team, another team that I have on my list, is I also have the Eagles on my list. Mainly just because from offense to defense, the biggest question going into the season was the quarterback. They figured out a way of limiting Jalen Hurts' turnovers, and the offense just does their thing in the defense. Now, although the rookie has been out and their run defense have been a lot shaky as of late, but I feel like because they can control the ball, possession time so much, it just puts a lot of pressure on teams to have to go get buckets every time they hit the field, because who knows, you might not touch the ball for another 10, 15, 20 minutes.
For a whole quarter.
Yeah, you might not touch it for a whole quarter. And then now you're cold and you get out on the field and 3-0, So
was playing with the chew clock on.
Yeah, pretty much chew clock, wait until the clock go all the way down to 0 to snap the ball. Because some of their time of possession stats versus other teams when they play, it just doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like they're literally playing bully ball, not giving anybody else a chance while putting up a lot of points. So now another team that I do have on my list is the Buffalo Bills. The reason why I do have them on my list is because at least this year, in the past, they have they have a losing record when it comes to 1-score games. But this year alone, they did it against Kansas City. They just recently did it this past week. They are putting up wins in one-score games. And if you think about like teams that normally lose one-score games a year prior, the next year they're usually the teams that's winning those one-score games. A perfect example is the Minnesota Vikings. Last year, if you go back and look at their stats, one-score games, I think they were like 1-6 or something like that. They had a very bad losing record in one-scoring games. This year, they got a very good record in one-score games, and it reflects on their actual overall record. So I got the Bills in my list. Now the Von Miller injury does hurt them, but I definitely think that with Josh Allen and that offense, as long as they can continue to put up points, which is going to be difficult for teams to stop them in the first place, the defense will get carried by the offense. Because, I mean, it's the second half of the season. At this point in the season, most offenses are clicking, and the defenses is just trying to manage the other overpowered offenses that they face. Now, the next team on my list, I do have the Kansas City Chiefs. My bias would love to put Cincinnati there instead of Kansas City, just because Joe Burrow's undefeated versus Patrick Mahomes. But part of me didn't want to put Kansas City, regardless of their record. Part of me didn't want to put them in there because, one, they lost to the Colts, and then they had a lot of close games that they literally had to really go out there and like win. Not saying that it doesn't boost up the team, but like when you have a close game with the Raiders, who are like pretty much bottom of the league right now, and then you have a close game with the Titans and they had a backup quarterback in the game, it kind of makes me feel like there's some kinks in your armor that can be penetrated. You guys just been getting the better of teams just because, you know, a player or two. I feel like if you can actively take Kelsey out of the game and put pressure on Mahomes, it drastically changes their game plan no matter how good of a coaching staff they have, and Andy Reid calling up the plays. I feel like Patrick Mahomes is doing his thing, but Kelsey is carrying Patrick Mahomes this season. That's just my opinion. So I think against a good team where possessions really matter, like when they played Buffalo and they couldn't go all crazy, games like that is going to be the deciding factor in whether they make it to the Super Bowl or not. And then the last team I have in my top 5 is the San Francisco 49ers. Only because I think that they are the best team in the NFC. Now, the record doesn't directly correlate to that, but as far as weapons, game planning against that team, and defense, I feel like when you try to game plan for the 49ers, in the past, you mainly had the game plan for Deebo Samuel. Now you got a dynamic running back like Christian McCaffrey that they use in the backfield, and they use in the slot, which when I see formations, when they put in Christian McCaffrey in the slot and Deebo is in the backfield at their running back, and in my mind, I'm thinking, well, you don't want a linebacker to guard.
So unfair, bro.
Yeah, you don't want a linebacker to guard Christian McCaffrey in the slot. So now you got a cornerback guarding him or a safety, but then out of the backfield, you got Deebo coming out. And you definitely don't want a linebacker guard Deebo because one, they're not going to catch him. Two, he probably going to truck him. No matter who the linebacker is. So I feel like they create mismatch problems. And other than those two alone, Kittle has been playing phenomenal lately. So now you got a dynamic tight end. Yeah, and then you got Brandon Ayuk. The Brandon Ayuk is their leading like receiving yards receiver on the team. And he's like coming into his own himself. So Jimmy G just got to get the ball to playmakers. And from the way it looked like, they got 3-4 playmakers on the field at any given time. And the crazy thing about it is that offensive line is like almost near God tier. So they'll run the ball and don't even pass it and still beat you. So I got the 49ers as my one team. Now, as far as my outlier teams, I got Dallas, I got Cincinnati, I got the Ravens as far as my outlier teams. And I would even put had they won yesterday, I would have put the Patriots in there just because I think can't never count on Bill Belichick. So those is my 5 teams in no particular order because I feel like any one of those teams could represent the Super Bowl, either facing each other or representing the AFC and the NFC.
Diplomatic.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I will say this. If Cincinnati secondary did not lose Cheeto Bear Woozier, I would have put us in that top 5. I would have put us in that top 5. But based on how we played last week, our secondary is shaky. So
Y'all still got Eli Apple, right?
yeah.
Go.
Yeah. Eli Apple is a number 2 quarterback, not a number 1. So right now
Well,
he's
hey,
playing number 1 snaps, and that's
we only got the
drafted
6th
like
string
this.
cornerback going for us right now. So
look, that's a whole different topic. I didn't even put y'all near the top 5 or 6 or 7 or 8.
because you blind, but I understand.
So that's a whole
Listen,
other topic.
as long as they in the NFL, it don't matter. I don't want to hear nothing about it was our 6th depth chart. I don't want to hear none of that. If you them dudes, if you in the NFL, you a dog at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a fact.
unless you're Anthony Brown and you just get torched by everybody. But outside of that, if you're in the NFL, you got to be a dog. So I don't want to hear that. If you got the right coaching staff, especially in New York, if y'all got the whole new staff that people are calling saying that y'all coach should be coach of the year, you can't talk about injuries or death or any of that because NFL is a lot about coaching. It's a lot about coaching.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
well,
yeah, y'all in the top 10. Y'all still in the top 10.
thank y'all for joining us again. We appreciate it. Deuces.